Spin City. Spin City on the screen, got the room on 10. Breaking news, panel smoke, then he does it again. The bass in the morning, debauchery at night. He steps in loud and he don't back right. Clip it, post it, watch the chat explode. One more take, then he takes the road. He talks that talk with a grin and a stare. If the other side's talking, he already there. Hold up, here he comes. Hands in the air, let the verdict come. No more hush, no more shade. Spin City live and the whole place sways. Spin City, Spin City. He don't play it safe. Spin City, bringing fire to the face. MAGA on the mic, and he says what he means. Spin City, shaking up the scene. Panels in a circle, everybody wants a turn. He leans in hard, let the hot takes burn. Protest on the ticker, riot in the thread. He talks over the chaos with a raised up head. Yell a little louder, make the point land clean. Cut through the noise like a headline machine. If they come for the room, he comes right back. One more clash and the whole beat snaps. Hold up, here he comes. Hands in the air, let the verdict come. No more hush, no more shade. Spin City live and the whole place sways. Spin City, Spin City. He don't play it safe. Spin City, bringing fire to the face. MAGA on the mic, and he says what he means. Spin City, shaking up the scene. When the mics get hot and the comments fly, he laughs at the noise and he calls it live. One more round, let the sparks go wide. Spin City standing on the right side. Spin City, he don't play it safe. Spin City, bringing fire to the face. MAGA on the mic, and he says what he means. Spin City, shaking up the scene.
Spin City, Spin City.
Yeah, I've been Spin and I are gonna have a daily show. It's gonna go probably between like 10 and noon or 10 and 1 my time. And so we're gonna do a new intro, but he's been very busy trying to get this thing for the 3rd together. He doesn't handle his cocaine well, and so it's got him very stressed.
Most kids are like that,
yeah. He gets a little ampy on it, and it's hard for him to deal with it.
I was just thinking, man, I don't know who else is fucking up here because I'm on a little tiny phone, but we won't get any opposition up here. It'd be like suicide to hop in here with us. What are the fucking chances that someone comes in here with an opposing opinion? Yeah?
It'd be 4-on-1, wouldn't it?
You want the opposing opinion, Joe? Fucking cool.
I want more than one Spin. I like to be triple teamed. Pause. But I'm gonna. Yes, but I'm gonna need. Well, I don't think no one's that fucking crazy. Anybody gonna hop up here alone when nobody hop up here and give their opinion? No chance they gonna do it with another 1A motherfucker up here.
Kraut was
up here too. Yeah, no chance, motherfucker gonna hop up
Kraut
here.
Was the only guy that was actually pretty opposing, and so we were having to let Santa have at it. That's why the guy didn't even know anything. I didn't even say anything.
Right. Santa would crush anybody. Yeah. We could. Yeah.
Well, and like Kraut it doesn't have a rhetoric developed yet or anything.
All right, maybe I can push you niggas then. I don't mind.
Go for it. I'm always ready to learn more.
Let's see if I can push you. And forgive me, but I gotta push you niggas. I gotta push hard, right? So I'm gonna have to say something goofy. I don't even know what I'm gonna say yet, but it won't be nothing lightweight. So forgive me, whoever fucking show I'm on. I guess Spin City.
Yeah,
I got that, Spin. I got the clip you sent too. I got it. I was recording it.
Celebrating America's 250th. We will be there live. Spin City News, teaming up with America Rising Media to broadcast a very special event with exclusive content. You can help crowdfund this below. Links in the description. DC, we will be live and we will be there. Spin City News and America Rising.
That's
Yeah,
that care.
Gotta put the link up also. Spin.
Let me start with Brick.
Oh, goody.
Yes,
Popcorn.
Brick. Where do rights come from?
Rights are nothing more than a legal concept, sir.
Okay. So
Of course,
from
Rick would
man.
have an issue with it. He's from Albuquerque. They don't even know what lefts are. So,
Yeah, right.
Down in a hole.
Anybody agree or disagree with Clay?
Disagree.
Where do rights come from?
Inalienable.
Very
They come
good. Anybody else?
In our spirit.
I disagree with that.
Go ahead. Where do rights come from?
Fucking our rights get tromped on consistently. The only thing, because when we're talking about the rights or the Constitution, that's the things that the government's not allowed to impose on us. So the government obviously is not going to stop itself, nor does it. So the only thing that's really providing those rights is our ability to enforce it onto the government and say, hey,
So you do believe
that
they're from God. However, the fact that they can't be taken away, that's the part that you're disputing. Yeah.
No, they aren't. I don't think they're from God either. I think it's something that a fairly, it's a social agreement that men made. I don't think God in any way. In fact, you couldn't even the Christian God, as far as I know, was real down with like a lot of really nasty things. I don't even understand how that would. If anything, it was the Age of Enlightenment that provided probably the muse for the rights that they were providing. I wish that Vigilante was just talking about that. The reason that they put that in there was to try and bring in the other colonies back into the fold, because they didn't want one overall federal government. And so basically they're like, well, listen, we are not going to, the federal government's not ever going to do these things to people. And then everybody went, cool.
So inalienable.
Because inalienable would mean that they can't violate it.
Well, then take my rights away.
They do all the time. Do you happen to remember?
Do they violate them? Is violate them taking them away? I think that's where you guys are missing each other.
You remember this thing called the Patriot Act? Have they put fucking?
You guys ready for me to chime in?
What guns you can buy? Have they put limits on what guns you can buy? They violate it consistently.
Yeah, they did that to a lot of people, but they're not curbing my behavior, sir.
Might seem like splitting hairs, but you can infringe on natural rights. You can't take them away. Because as soon as you're
hair splitting, this is where I am so far. Yeah, go ahead.
As soon as you take away that oppression, your rights are back. So they never really went anywhere. It's just your infringement was stopping me from exercising my. I'm just saying.
I think that's
this exact particular.
I like that better.
Rights has never existed in any other government before. And when this government folds, it will probably, this exact particular list of rights will never exist again.
Well, let's see.
I'm not saying that something similar won't happen. Somebody might even model off of this one in the future and then go, yes, but with our more highly enlightened minds, we've realized these other things. And this list is going to change and alter because it's not from God. It's not something that's objective. It's something that was a social agreement.
Let's see if that's true. Do I always have the right to defend my family from an attacker?
Amen.
Yes.
That won't change over time, right?
But no.
I may not be successful, but I have that right to do it while I won't be occurring any sin and all of that shit.
If they lock you up in a cage, you no longer have that right, sir.
The question is, where do rights come from, correct?
Yes, it is.
So as a Christian, I believe they come from God, but I'll give the secular version as well. I believe they're intangibles. You can't see, touch, smell them. So they're natural law. It's the natural law. It's
That shouldn't change over
what
time.
exactly is natural about it? What exactly is natural about it? What's natural about it?
Okay, like I said,
voice.
you can't see it, you can't touch it, you can't smell it. It's intangible.
So I mean, you're describing metaphysical so far, not natural.
Yeah, there you go. Metaphysical. The same thing. It's intangible.
Which is what I said originally, which is that they are
I wasn't disagreeing.
Yeah, it's a legal concept. So when I say legal concept, what I'm actually the best way to say it's a legal claim. So a claim would refer to
man makes those though. That's
right, a possession. So before
so you can't have it both ways, Clay.
So before the social contract, there was what was known as divine right of kings. That was what was the rule or the rule of law for eons. I mean, there was really no social contract as it was with the maritime law, which came a little bit later after what was it, the Magna Carta, I do believe.
Magna Carta, where the Lord went
the
against
social the social contract, the idea that we all work together to quote unquote protect our rights. That was a later concept, but before that, it was called divine right of kings. And what they would do is they would actually pass down rights to their lords, and some of those lords were doing things like prima nocta, which is
I contend they didn't pass down rights; they passed down privileges.
Yes,
which is an argument. I've heard that argument before.
You're gonna hear it again tonight. I'm just waiting to get
but
in.
a privilege is not a claim. A privilege
it can be taken away by the king. He can get rid of lords.
But a privilege isn't a claim, though, whereas a right is.
No, the kings were given rights to the lords. They can't give rights to the lords. They can give privileges, but you can't give a right. A right is a right.
Well, they called them rights.
Well,
that's the reason for the discussion.
That's what
whether they got it right.
If I give you a claim, which is a legal document to a land, a quit claim deed, right?
But they can take it away too.
Well, when you say they, who is they?
Whoever gave it to you. If they gave it to you, they can take it away.
Not if it's a right. If it's a right, that's a legal claim. At that point, now you have ownership.
Right.
It's about property rights.
You can't own
property.
Yeah, 2 years later, someone could come into office and decide that they want to take it away. Therefore, it wouldn't fall under what we call a right.
Sure, that would not be
do it
legal.
all the time.
That would not be legal. That's why
sure will be if the president,
the legal claim.
The president can do an executive order that's legal.
Take the claim.
Or Congress can change a thing that's legal.
But you're leaving out one part or the other. I said legal claim. Those are two portions to the same definition of right.
Yeah, we're debating whether they can be taken. If it's a legal claim under what you're saying, rights are a legal claim, they can be taken away as easily as they were given.
Legally,
they are not. But they are not.
But that is not what the founding fathers spoke about. They say these things existed outside of them. We're going to name a couple of them. The right to speech, to protect yourself. We're going to name a couple of these rights.
There would be no need to write them?
Inalienable means they can't be taken away.
Well, then there would be no need to write them.
No, they had to write them.
The writing them was limiting.
It's a limitation.
That was the legal part.
I agree with you, Cliff. The writing was the bad part. Putting them down on pieces of paper.
Well, then if we don't write it, then where do we derive these ideas from?
Well, I'm okay with either one. Nature, which would take you to harm no man, deprive him of his property, or God. Both will get you there.
And if we take this before the court and Joe says, well, this is what I believe, and then I say this
I
is
don't
what
recognize the authority of the court.
Well, then you live on an island by yourself.
Not really. We just said, even the court said that in here, that it come from God. They don't have claim to take your shit. Even legally under their fucking paperwork, if you started off saying God gave you this, no man can take it, and you as a man say, I wrote on a piece of paper, I can take it, We know all of that shit's
Guy builds
invalid.
house.
Yeah.
Guy builds house.
Again,
Okay.
again, rights
I
are
claim-
intangibles. They're not physical. They are metaphysical. So it's
we,
not
we,
real.
we all got that part.
Those are
What
all
we don't
privileged.
get is what you don't get is there's no amendments to the 10 Commandments.
I didn't say
Yeah,
God gave
I
me
like
any
that.
right
Yeah,
either.
no amendments to the commandments. That was cool.
But yet it was written,
If I may,
right?
Joe, just for a second, responding just to Ben on that point, I don't think God is the giver of inalienable rights either. I'm saying there are inalienable rights. It's up to my judgment, up to my spirit, whether or not I wish to surrender them. There might be cost, there might be consequences, but I live as a free man.
Does
My
everybody
model is
have
Frederick Douglass. You might want to read about him
Just-
because
oh my
there are
God,
all
dude,
sorts of
with
laws.
this- oh
See,
my
Clay,
God.
you're
Nobody's gonna read your book. Okay, stop that shit.
I'm reading every motherfucker who's ever said they wrote a book. I'll fucking if they put it in front of me, I've read it. Fucking would that be Rogue or whoever?
Frederick Douglass proved
Bro,
that
but you do this every time.
You're
He does
talking
it every
over
time.
me
He says,
again.
Well, I haven't heard it, Clay. Don't cut him off. I hadn't heard his Patrick Douglas speech.
All right, I'm gonna go grab a
book.
drink while you tell us about your book.
Yes, I'm interested.
Why don't you control yourself, man? It was about me last time. You've interrupted me 4 times on here so far. So Frederick Douglass made it very clear that any person with the dignity and the spirit within themselves can claim their own freedom. And he was a black man with a gun at a time when there weren't black men with a gun. So the limitations that people have are the ones that they accept.
He's counting his list. He's
Or
checking
put on
it
themselves.
twice.
Yeah, well, this shit ain't funny because in 10 years, our kids are going to be facing a lot of shit. And people
They're gonna write down more shit on a piece of paper that restricts your right, and we're gonna have motherfuckers like Clay saying, "Well, if they wrote it down, it's correct."
Right.
I'm not understanding what a right was to begin with.
Well,
I agree.
the original argument was where they
Where do
derived.
they come from? Which I prefer.
Yeah, I just said inalienable. Does anyone argue that?
So I would say that
I'm
you don't
with
have
you.
all
I
rights are
do.
you
That
have-
if we, the people, don't stand up for our rights against the government, we are the only enforcers of that.
But
Okay, well,
go to
even Ben, even if here in Chicago you're not allowed to own a weapon, pretty much in strict circumstances you can. I still know that I have the right to have it. I know that these men will hurt and kill me if they see me doing what God says I have the right to do or nature says, but I still have it. And even if they lock me up and shit or take it away the way they have now, I understand that I still have that right. People are just not allowing me to exercise.
Well, I mean, what you're describing can be applied to any behavior that you do that goes against the law. You can have a right you can have a right to take and feast on anything you conquer. You could have the right to, this could be applied to anything at that point.
Well, how can you get that under nature or God?
I don't know where how you're getting this set of laws that out of nature, because I live out in nature, and I tell you what, nature is a vicious, thievy, murdery, grapey fucking thing. It's wild out here. Now, the laws that we have come up with are things
Freedom
that are for society, so that way we become
No, let's stay with nature shit.
So
let's stay with nature.
We have come up as people, we have come up with sets of rules that say, hey, we don't like it when the women folk get taken advantage of. And you don't like your women folk getting taken advantage of? No, us either. Let's not do that. We'll make that shit a law. We don't like it.
We're not talking about that, Ben. We're not talking about that. Let's stay with the nature shit. In nature, if I live out there where you are, it's cold, it's rough, hard winters. You will learn under nature that I should not have killed my neighbor because that's the guy who would have helped me build my fence, get this roof on. And I found last year I helped him, and this year he helped me. Under nature, you will find that you don't want to hurt this motherfucker because you don't want to hurt. And you want to be kind to him because you may need him someday. You can learn these rules under nature as well. And I assume that's what most of them can.
Is that unless he started stealing from you last winter and started sneaking around your wife's window and those sort of things? Because that shit happens in nature too.
Yep. Yep. And then when that happens, you get angry, and then you're short one neighbor. And in nature, that's very natural. But what we have is a society of laws, and laws that we've agreed upon that we're gonna all behave by, so that way the society can function in a very nice, neat way.
The law conversation is less interesting because we all can read a piece of paper and know what the law is, which is why I said rights.
But this is why I'm saying with the rights, even this was things we agreed upon as people. We said, hey, mutually, we all think this. We all should be able to.
I heard your argument. I'm trying to rebut it. I heard it. I remember it.
Okay, but Joe, do you have the right to then own like any type of arms, right? Like a nuke, for example.
Yep.
Okay, so then you think that it'd be cool if we all just own nukes?
I think we all have the right to. If you can make it, you can build it, you have the right to do it. If you set it off and kill a bunch of people, you're a piece of shit. I hope karma gets you.
Yeah.
It's the same with if I owned a AK-47, I could take out a lot of fucking people, especially if I practice and you got a little courage up, a little skill. But I think if I could build it, acquire it on my own, and use it, wisely. Yeah, I think you should have that shit.
Pull up and read the Constitution in the Second Amendment. That's it. That's basically, it says so. You can have any weapon that you want. You have a right to bear arms, and it shall not be infringed. And that means
I don't think we need private citizens with nuclear weapons.
No, but
hold on. Let me finish. It's not just the using it part. The problem is the weapons themselves pose a dangerous risk because they contain radioactive elements that are dangerous to handle. They're dangerous to be around, and I don't trust my neighbor to properly shield me from his little.
Well, that's a really poor argument. I don't trust my neighbor with a gun. It has bullets in it. Bullets kill people. I just don't trust my neighbor with it. That's the same argument.
That gun ain't because that gun on its own won't do shit to me. No, it's not.
Neither will the nuclear weapon.
Nor will the nuclear weapon.
The gun will not act on its own. It is not dangerous. I can be
in the room
with the gun, and I'll be fine.
I think this question really boils.
Wait. Let Steelman get as much in, and whoever's talking, because this is, the opposition we wanted. So make sure he gets to say everything.
Well, I'm the opposition you want
the
too.
Bomb, however, poses a radioactive hazard to the area it is in. Okay, it requires very specialized equipment for handling and storing and maintaining it.
Is that true? I don't think it is.
It is not the same as a handgun. Not even remotely.
And I agree with the heart of what you're saying. I agree that I don't want that either. But my understanding, and you guys can correct me or disagree with me, is that the Second Amendment is supposed to be an equalizer between us and our government. And we're supposed to be able to, in my opinion, use equal force against our government as they are
like that logic
against us.
Right, so, because if my government comes with a tank and you only left me with a pistol, what good is that? Actually, it's logical that I would be able to have a tank as well.
We're never getting in a nuke
the whole
fight
reason
with our
why
own
the
government.
Second Amendment was put in, so that we could overthrow our government if it becomes tyrannical.
But we are never getting in a nuke fight with our government. They aren't going to use nukes on us. We're not going to use.
I don't think
we would have never gotten a fight with the King of England either.
No, that's not true. Revolution has got a long tradition throughout history. We're not talking about the same thing at all.
There you go.
Why would the government unalive itself? That doesn't make any sense. Why would the government? We the people, right? So if it's we the people, they want votes, they want voters, they want people to work their fields, they want people to be able to run their stores. They don't want to unalive people; they want slaves, right? So the idea that the government wants to just unalive us is just absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion.
Let me give you an example. It's not totally far-fetched.
I have something to say about the Second Amendment, because I don't believe it was so that we could be on an equal footing. I believe that the Second Amendment is there so that we can be able to defend ourselves upon immediate skirmishes. I don't believe it's there to essentially win a all out
Let's
brutal.
pull up the Second
war
Amendment and read what
completely
it
destroy.
actually says. Let's pull it
I don't
up.
believe it's out. I don't believe it's there to absolutely completely
Doesn't matter.
destroy
It
and
doesn't matter.
obliterate the Constitution of the
What
United
does
States.
"it shall not be infringed" mean?
Does the Second Amendment give you the right to destroy the Constitution?
What does "it shall not be infringed" mean?
It doesn't give you the right to destroy the Constitution?
Answer the question.
All right, you're saying what it doesn't do. What you didn't do first was say what it does do.
That's actually what rights do. They tell you what the government cannot do.
But he asked you the Second Amendment.
How about this then? What does unalienable mean? It means it can't be separated from, right? Well, if you have the unalienable right, if you have the unalienable right to life, then how can you be given the death penalty? If you have the unalienable right to life, liberty, then how can you be put in a jail? It's alienable. Rights are alienable. We don't have unalienable rights.
Confusing infringement
rights are
with taking a right
intangible.
away. They're not this. That's not the same thing.
Shall not be infringed.
So
it is the same because I'm saying your right to life is unalienable. That means it shall not be infringed. It's unalienable. It cannot be separated from you. Yeah, it can be.
No.
You could, if you break the harm a person or deprive them, you could forfeit that shit.
If we read the Constitution, it doesn't say that you have a right to life.
Well, no, but now you're saying we get our rights. I don't get my rights. You're saying, but you just said we don't get our rights from the Constitution.
I think it does say we have the right to life.
We had the right, but we already had the right to bear arms before the Constitution was what your point was.
I think it does say life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
That's in the direct declaration.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm using the Declaration of Independence, but I'm saying don't. That's because we're not getting all of our rights from the Declaration of Independence. That's just lays out some of them. So so if it's not in the Declaration of Independence, that doesn't mean it's not a right, according to you guys.
So, well, I just said for me, may I clarify this?
Or the Bill of Rights.
I've written in the chat. Inalienable has to do with me and the decisions and the consequences I'm willing to endure. The Declaration was saying that they're inalienable rights because of the history that they were writing against. In the Constitution, there are limits, and there's an organization, the Bill of Rights places more limits, but you surrender those rights to those things when you break the laws and you're hurting the common good. Now, if you go raping and murdering people, then you are surrendering your inalienable right to life because you've taken it from other people.
So then it was never an unalienable right.
No, you surrender it.
No one can take it, but you can give it up. Therefore, it's still unalienable.
It's a forfeit.
Right.
Even if you didn't do the crime, they will take it from you.
It's alienable. That's what
No. The fact that they take it, it doesn't make it okay. I don't want to go there yet. One thing I want to say right quick is that
go. Like, let's take me. In my opinion, it's been my right to smoke cannabis as a medicine because my whole life. The government certainly took and put me in prison over that, and I lost 8 years of my life to prison. The whole time, I believe it's still my right. Damn. But they certainly didn't agree with that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It was an unconstitutional law.
This is why they wrote it in there that God gives you this. And if men take it, you can hurt them in order to protect this thing. And I think that was Clay and someone was talking about that Second Amendment thing. It tells you, hold on, I wasn't done. Well, give me a second. When we were asking what's the Second Amendment for, what we think it for, it gives us a clue. It tells you being necessary to the security of a free state.
Correct. Yes.
So I think that'll give you an idea. Whoever come in and try to conquer you, whether it be Georgia trying to conquer Illinois or North Korea, in order to keep my shit free, I might need nukes and shit.
Or your own government.
Well, here's the thing.
I don't think the government should have nukes. And it was a quarter pound. The South Dakota back when I was in prison was crazy with their charges.
That's insane.
You're not going to use a nuke for self-defense within the borders of this country. That's insane.
Yeah, the only way I can see it is if we had a big baby, say like Trump or something, and Somebody attacked us. We started losing. Look like we gonna lose. And that big baby says, "Damn it! If I can't have it, no one can." There are people who I can imagine, like North Korea. I could picture them doing that shit. I could picture some asshole
this
doing
is the
that.
fallacy of the big red button. Like Trump could want to do that, and there's still a whole lot of stuff in the way to stop.
Can we get off
stop
Trump
from
and
doing
get
it.
back to the prompt, though? I'm sorry.
Sure. I don't want to talk about him either, but it got brought up, and I get tired of this fallacy about this magic button.
But it's
that
a
the president
fallacy
can
to
push.
say. But it's a fallacy potentially to say we don't need it. You're expecting to know all future things. We don't.
You don't, because a nuclear weapon is not a defensive weapon. It's
And that's your
understand, guys.
That's
This,
your
this part
judgment.
two. This part two. Okay, the Constitution has the Bill of Rights, but the Constitution also encapsulates powers of the government. So you have your rights, but that does not take away from the powers that is granted to the Constitution. So
unless the government says that we can fuck with your religion, then we know it's no longer valid.
So either you're a constitutionalist and you agree that the Constitution is the law of the land, or not. Like the Bill of Rights is not the only part of the Constitution. Now, the powers that the government has, one of them happens to be in the executive branch, and that is to defend our borders. And in order to defend our borders, there's a lot. And your rights might just happen to be forfeited on certain pieces of land and territories. I'm just sorry, it's the reality of things.
You're not giving them up; they're just being infringed.
If it's
that's not a real argument, guys.
Here's
Joe,
the thing.
can you
Okay,
continue. It's tangents. Joe,
Huh?
will you please continue?
I'm sorry. Oh, I didn't know that I couldn't actually expound.
We were
on
speaking
what I was saying.
over him, and then he was going down a particular.
Well, actually,
route.
Cliff had asked me a question way earlier about the Second Amendment. I didn't know that I wasn't able. I'll tell you what, Santa, I'm gonna fucking leave because you're a retard.
Okay,
Oh, go ahead. No one cares if you whine and cry. Stop it.
Let's see, stream for stream, Rossum. And if it's me, Ben, I'll happily go. But Joe was talking, and half the time it was.
Wait, Santa. I don't want you to.
You two definitely are prickling at each other. That's how it's going down.
And I don't want you to leave, but yes, that was bad form, Santa. You don't get to cut motherfuckers off. You get to do it and say what you said. And if he continued, you yield, because we don't get to control motherfuckers. So you steady cutting them off. That was bad form. I understand the first couple times, like, hey, let's get back on subject. That's fair. But after that, you're being a dick if you're just not letting them talk. That's my opinion.
Okay, so when he was cutting you off, and people are saying
he was being a dick, and I'm used to it. He was being a dick, cutting me off. Yes.
Okay.
And don't you take up his bad habits, right? Don't you? You're doing well.
I'm not even pissy right now. If everybody just calmed down, I've been told all night what I'm thinking, and that's a little frustrating.
No, you're sharp. I'm new here, and you're sharp.
Hang on, everybody. I want to do the Joe Cool laugh.
Yeah,
I just want to hear it.
Fucking what's his name? Got it on.
I love it.
Happy every time.
You should charge him royalties, Joe.
I was out last night chasing the police, and they were giving me heavy shit. And it was a chick. She was pushing me. Well, I'm talking. I was in the crowd. I don't know, a lot. They had to bust up a crowd of hundreds. So it was a big, thick, a bunch of police, and they were pushing the people on the sidewalk like you see them do at protests. Except this was a party with hundreds of people, and I tried to stand my ground. And most of the police walked past, and then a certain group got to me and pushed me and spun me and all of that shit. And I got into it with the chick. They pushed me, I don't know, 20 feet. And there was the crowd of all the young motherfuckers partying, and they were kind of head to head, and they were scared to keep pushing. And some of them decided that they wanted to go around them, and they went through the street and all of that bullshit. But the point is, I got into it with the cop, and then after a while, it must have been getting around who I am, because the chick came over there, cracked a joke, and it was a really tense situation. And when I laughed, I did, ha, ha, ha. You could see everybody body language just saying. Yeah, that they went to relax and putting their hands in their pockets. That shit just changed everything. They were happy too that I was in a good mood.
Always diffuses. I love it.
Yeah. I used to get that in the comments. I didn't understand it. They be like I'm assuming it was a chick saying that, I'd be so nervous and all of that shit, and everything looks so scary. But when you laugh, I know everything's gonna be okay. I think that's saying it diffuses some shit. Oh, Chuck Bronson, he said that shit. He was like, "You niggas was in Memphis, I think, I think Memphis in a police station in the middle of the night." And they called all this back up on us and shit. And they was pushing us and shit. And I laughed and it changed it. Chuck ran, by the way. He ran when all the police came in there. He ran. And he said, yeah, man, I'm telling you, what got you out of there when Joe laughed, that shit just changed everything. All right, we can get back to it. But
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And especially fuck you. You're cool.
Oh my God, whoever doing that shit, break your hand and cut your dick off.
What's that?
Whoever's fucking to think.
He's talking to Spin. One night he had a good night where he actually did those things at appropriate times. And don't worry about it, Santa. You everybody has bad nights.
Yes, and Santa.
About it.
So far, you're doing.
Do you have sad feelings? Do you need to cry but fake tears?
I'm not worried about it at all.
Oh God, yeah.
Sven, I don't know how to be nice. I'm gonna give it a shot.
No, I'm cool. I'll just.
Not you. I wasn't talking to you. I'm talking to Spin, who every time I try and get a conversation started, he wants to put that shit up there. It's irking me. Yeah. I was saying, Santa, you're doing great. I'm new here. I didn't see the rest of the night. For once since I got, you've been sharp as a tack. Don't change.
He's mad because Spin keeps doing those overlays that mute everybody.
Yes.
Every time a conversation.
It's hard to get a conversation going, Spin. It really is hard. And with these guys, we all agree on everything. It is hard. That's just me, but it's your shit. Your shit.
Oh, I agree. There's different nuances of what we all agree on, but it's
which I think is great. I think
is
the nuance. I'm down with nuance. It's cool with being discussed. There are men in the room, and no one's gonna act weird.
Spin don't control me, and I don't control Spin.
Very good. I think that's fair.
I've watched Ben cuss out Spin on stream before. The fucking prick. He felt like he was brigading this one of the guests. He's like, nah, we ain't doing that shit. Like,
no, Spin has the greatest rant, anger shit in the world, right? When that motherfucker get mad, it is great. Oh,
yeah, I'm starting to like him.
Yeah,
we butt heads sometimes, but it's all in good fun.
Yeah, and I don't know. Here's what you guys got.
Santa. Why are you on everybody's naughty list today? I thought Santa had
not. Remember what I said? I'm sorry, it's your show, but remember what I told you about how hard it is to get a conversation started. You asking this nigga when the last time his reindeer went down the street is the same as playing that clip. Work with me, not against me.
You look when I got elevated.
It's okay, Santa.
I wasn't looking for your approval, sir, as much as I respect your stream. Okay?
Hey.
I have differing views, and I take some of this a little bit more seriously. A friend of mine went 3 years to a federal pen for trespassing in a local space. Maybe I have some feelings about it.
Well, absolutely. Everybody would. I'm not disagreeing with you, Neil.
I didn't finish the sentence before you were talking over me.
Go ahead and finish your sentence.
That was all I was going to say, actually. I'm not. Not to talk over. You talk over each other, and then there are other.
I understand the passion. I do. I understand.
I do.
Listen, everybody has passions about everything, okay, or about something. Okay,
Roll the tape. Everybody's about proof. Roll the tape. I don't need to see it now. I don't need you to show it to anybody.
Right. Well, there's nothing.
We're good.
Where is Howard? We need the proofism guy.
Proofism.
I'm good. When I say I'm good, I'm a man, and I'll be responsible for what I say. I'm saying I'm good.
Okay, you're good.
I actually
All right,
like his
Pimple.
passion.
All right, Pimple. You good? You good?
I used to be a lot more passionate, but I've had to curtail that somewhat.
Drink your Maalox. You're good.
I still have the passion. I just don't know it as much.
All right, here I got another
I probably
starter
died
here.
bleeding out over it, and I'm okay with that. That's what I've accepted.
All right, here I'm going to ask you guys another line of questioning here. All right, I expect you and I hope you be bold. Okay. Well, I think in our own forums, we are all activists. I was going to say it generally speaking, but I think to the men, we are all activists. And the goal is to get it done. What must we do? Let's assume we're going to put a timeline on this shit. I don't know, 365 days, man. We must achieve these things, freedom or whatever the fuck it is. Let's make it 3 years. I don't want to put too much pressure on you cats. What do we do today? What changes?
Inform as many people as we can, because it's a law of numbers of who's going to take action.
We would agree, at least I would agree that that's the first thing, right? It's going to be, well, the first thing is inform your damn self. And secondly, would be to spread it. How we would be my second question. But what are we going to do? Anybody else?
From what I can tell, there, Mo, the only MAGA person in the room is Spin City, and everybody else appears to be Ant is kind of. He's conservative. I don't know about MAGA. And the rest of us are constitutionalists. So I'm not.
So, Spin, does that mean we vote harder, in your opinion, to change shit?
Oh, amen. That I was hoping for that phrase. Vote harder.
I stopped voting.
Well, I mean, a lot of women vote for harder. I mean, you know. But you know, hey, there are pills that make things harder. Anyway, moving on.
To Joe Cool's question.
Is that why you're impilled?
Yes.
Expose and educate, and expose. Continue doing
the
that.
Red
expose. I like expose. Yes.
And get more people to do it. We need people in order to.
I like that second one you just presented. Expose. That's be the equivalent of what Ben would call government transparency. All right, so expose. Yeah, I think that's a good one as well.
Hold on a second. Let me interject with the government transparency. Okay. I believe, and Ant, you can probably back me up on this. I think all sides of the aisle want full transparency of the government.
No, they want full transparency of the other side.
Very good.
Either side wants it.
He asked Ant, though. I don't think Ant answered.
Ant?
You muted if you're talking.
He's taking a shit.
Taking a dump. All right. Good.
I want transparency on all sides. I don't care if it's the left, the right, the middle, left, not right, not look at the dick in the fucking middle. I don't care.
Right.
I think the American people,
we want accountability too, right?
Well, that was my next Cliff. That was my next statement. You
know, you took it to dicks on yourself.
Oh well, hey, I mean, you got to pleasure yourself somehow. I mean,
well, you don't do it in front of other people.
No, I only do that on Thursdays, sir. Only Thursdays.
Marseille, on the other hand, will you stop?
Look, I want transparency all the way
Chris
around.
Miner?
Okay. I think the American people.
Chris, you need to hop up here if that's 4 PS. You need to hop up here.
I'll drop the link.
That's him, right? I'm not looking in chat, but I heard someone say Chris Ryder. It's got to be public safety.
I'll drop the link.
Chris Minor.
I just dropped it.
He's one of the guys that comes on my TED Talk shows, and I go on.
Chris, come on up, man. Good to see you.
He's at least better looking than all of us.
That's true.
He's got
It's in my contract.
When you were jacking off to your shears, were you really, getting them sharp enough to, trim your head? I mean,
oh, for sure. I don't fuck around. Let me tell you, back as a big animal. It was definitely.
I hear Christy howling in the background.
I got buddies like Ben, and I'm telling you, they keep a go bag. In the go bag is collapsible saws and shit, and fire starters and shit that you will need. And this motherfucker went. He saw the knife I had. He took my shit from me. Gave me a real knife. Brought out like 4 wet stones and shit. That's how they get down about sharpening the fucking knife, man.
Like this is my normal everyday carry knife. Like,
you're right. He gave me. I don't know where it is right now.
You see that? And if you watch me twist back, you see that edge on that fucker. Just.
I just trust you, man, because I've seen it. I see how you fucks are. It's like a 6-stage process, bro, to sharpen a fucking knife.
Is that a Bowie knife?
I looked angry while it was going on. Like that look, that
right, serious, concentration.
Yeah, and I'm staring at the edge of it, watching the edge of it.
Yeah, I dig it.
I dig it. Oh, I do look angry.
I dig it.
You do. You didn't see the clip?
Oh, I did. I do it. I'm the one who told Sarah to play it. My family, as soon as I came in from outside, freaking Christy and my best friend, they're like, "You need to watch this. It's so fucking hilarious." And so it's fucking.
Hey, Spin. Let's assume. Well, I want to know how to get the transparency. That's where we left off. How do I get that? Remember, we only got 3 years.
Well, I mean, there first has to be there first has to be the person that's going to tell the truth first. You got to have people that want to tell the truth before you can get the truth.
So we're back to educating niggas, which I think Cliff or Santa started off with.
Pretty much.
Start trying people for treason.
Expose their lies. Expose.
But how is what I want to get to. I get that we're coming up with remedies. At some point, I want you the motherfuckers to give me prescriptions. How do I go out and educate? You're gonna have to tell me YouTube protests. You're gonna tell me shit like that. How do I get that transparency?
I'm not gonna tell you protests. I'm not gonna tell you YouTube. It needs to start. It needs to start at the top. Start locking people up.
Whoa. The first thing we're talking about, why I said that to, was getting the word out. How do you do that if not YouTube and
first of all, you have to confirm there is a lie.
No. Right? Let's assume there is, and we out, and it's time to get the word out because we keep backing up.
Okay, the prescription would be confront them.
That's how you get the word out. Confront them. You mean that means like go to the government office itself?
Yes, and you have a right to go to any government office.
Yeah, we exercise them all the time. Some of us up here.
That's what I'm saying. Right. So you go to the government office. You request an appointment or whatever, and you ask that hard question.
Mm-hmm. So let me lay a situation out quick.
Sure.
Everybody in California realizes that Governor Newsom has been fraudulent with money to the extreme.
Scumbag.
And everybody wants investigation done on that and an audit. So both the Democrats and the Republicans wanted that audit, and they signed a bill to make that audit happen, and Governor Newsom vetoed it.
I bet he did.
Yeah. It was bipartisan.
I have a question.
So would your prescription for this spin then be for the people to like maybe get audit Newsom signs and go down to his office and gather en masse around his office with like
very good, Spin. When I go to his office, which is I was going to ask you that anyway. When I go there and request, and he gave us an example. In this case, is Newsom honored the bill, and they don't do it because I'm assuming they're gonna be like, I don't know. What happens then?
It's like, what 400 million? Why?
We'd have to
request an appointment all we want. But chances are we're not going to get that appointment.
I've done it, and I can tell you here in Chicago, the first 4 are just going to be they're going to spin you, and it's fucked up because especially if you got to go downtown, parking is impossible. It costs bread, and they're going to be like, oh, he's not here, he's in a meeting, so and so, and they're going to give you a date, and he's going to flake on that a couple times, and all they're going to do is send us it's going to be 9 times before you see the guy who stands next to him. And that's just to see
cameras unannounced.
Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, there are diplomat. What I'm saying is handle it diplomatically at first, and when you get nowhere, and when you get nowhere, then you start lobbying or
why
protesting.
Do something that we already know is ineffective, though? We already know
lobbying is going to get us there. Lobbying is going to get us there in 3 years. We're going to change the government through lobbying in 3 years.
No.
We're going to get our gun rights back in 3 years by lobbying. Ain't they been doing that shit for 90 years?
You would also be out lobbied too because lobbies are huge.
Yeah, we'd have to get a bunch of folks on board.
Instance, Newsom literally has been fucking funneling hundreds of millions of dollars. There's a fund for fucking the homeless that he's been pillaging. There's the railway system, the super train, high speed rail. Drop a link.
Focused on just one politician.
Drop a link for effigy.
That's not.
I just did.
Affect change. We have to.
Yes, that's a good point. Corruption. Aren't we doing that? We're going after one person, one thing. If we pull it that way, that's something to think about.
I'm trying to get from spin. I'm trying to get from spin so they've already started they've already tried the legal repercussions. So then you're saying go petition them. So then what would your answer be for a large group of people with possibly signs to go and surround the building and show their displeasure at Newsom refusing to let them do an audit on his books?
Or make calls.
Well, okay. Well, first of all, let me say this. The First Amendment includes petitioning the government for a redress or grievances.
So you'd be down with that because of this very specific situation I laid out, if a bunch of people went down to the governor's house and our governor's office and surrounded it with, and went in and said, hey, we need to audit. That audit needs to happen of your books.
You understand, Spin, that he's ramping it up. We got to ramp it up. They're not listening to us. At some point, is this what you're suggesting we do? We go down in a mass with signs and say, hey, you're going to hear us.
Well, and as long I would be okay with that unrest, as long as it was peaceful. When it becomes where there is violence.
So you are okay with protests, though?
I'm okay with peaceful protests. I am not okay with the violent acts that come along with it.
You don't like the cops that protest.
Go
ahead.
Thanks for coming in, Effigy.
It's not effective if it's violent. It has to be peaceful.
Effigy, if you went on to my page, the link.
I don't know if that's true. I want to argue, but let's see what Effigy has. But I definitely want to argue whether violence is effective or not.
Effigy, I have a tax. You have to play the bouncing your head off the desk at some point in time.
Yeah, anyone. Yeah, any of them. Actually, yeah. I always
That's
seem to
fine.
not catch them. I'm on 2 phones.
There it is.
It's the one I use the most now.
Wait, I want to hear.
People always the point is people always confuse petition with protest. You can petition a court. You can, as a citizen, you can petition the court to have an audit.
I would say the difference
They
here,
did.
man.
They even passed it bipartisanly, and he vetoed it.
I mean, well, we can all understand, right, why like the executive in any position, right, or why any government agency would be against auditing under their watch, right?
I
almost
understand.
any audit of anywhere is going to bring out some bad shit. So it's incumbent upon anyone in the positions of power to be like, nah, wait till the next guy.
Okay. So given that spend, meaning we probably not
audit the Pentagon. What I was laying out is a situation where at this point in time, only way that the will of the people gets known is if we en masse go to his fucking office, stand there and say, audit now, motherfucker. And to where they start.
Well, you said he vetoed the bill. There's a way in their legislature to override a veto, right? If you had enough votes from both sides, right?
What I needed was to agree that that's a thing that we can do that's legal and fucking good. And then
absolutely
right. So then now
wait. Are y'all saying we can override the veto?
Like almost, yeah. Like and almost every day Spin shits on people that protest. So it's making me laugh.
Look, the secret of government in America, and this is like it's ubiquitously true. We could make literally anything happen in this country as long as we got together.
Right. And I don't disagree with that.
The Congress could completely overpower the president at any moment if they just were an entire unified body. They could pass laws that he didn't like.
Hold on,
do
Joe.
whatever they want.
Hold on, Joe. Let me get this out, Joe.
No, you shouldn't get that out.
Listen, you can petition the courts over and over and over. You could have 50 motherfuckers go down there and petition the court. I'm saying 50 is in a semantic, right? Petition the court to have this done. If it all gets vetoed, and especially in California, it's going to be vetoed fucking 10 minutes after it's filed. We know that. And I'm okay.
No governor wants an audit and his
fuck no.
And this guy, he extra bad doesn't want audit on his watch.
Right. The other thing I'm going to say, and I've said this before, I am okay with protesting. I am okay with having your voice heard. I don't agree with the violence when you're throwing rocks at animals.
Hey, Spin, please. I'm sorry, I'm weird tonight. But okay, please tell us what we do. What you telling us what you don't want? I'm not necessarily against. Please make a stand. I thought I made that when I started this shit. Please be brave. Telling me what you don't.
My prescription would be the diplomatic way, and if the diplomatic way does not work, then you go to the next step.
Well, that's what we're doing. We've all just I think hashed out the diplomatic level. I think we've pointed out that the diplomatic level by FG now saying
the diplomatic level, Joe, is to petition the court.
Right. But let's go with your second thing. It's not working. I think that the line that we were going down was going to show that petitioning is going to be he threw Newsom out there, and Newsom is going to veto and say no and stomp his feet the entire time. Petitioning doesn't work. We're at the next step. What's that look like?
Well,
no, we already said you get the entire legislature to pass a law that is veto proof. I don't know California state law specifically, but I'm assuming that it's just like any other state. You get every Republican and every Democrat to be on board of that specific thing, and that has to be a groundswell of the people wanting them to do that.
All right, cool. Let me get in here, cause Spin, this is where I was going to go. I
Also,
don't
can we just say,
believe
like, how difficult it would be to audit what is California, like the 8th, 4th, like one of the biggest economies in the world by itself.
Economy in the
Specifically, what they're looking at is the Democrats, because this was bipartisan, and it was bipartisan because the Democrats are pissed because we were given an exorbitant amount of money to deal with the homeless crisis. It was an emergency fund. That shit disappeared, and nobody can point to anything that went to the homeless people. Like there was no help for them whatsoever, and hundreds of millions of dollars.
that's the way it's been with the school system and
that's
inner cities forever.
Right. But the Democrats are mad about that, so they want the audit. The Republicans are mad about the bullet train, which has just been which has been a money toilet. Like, so they want the audit. So it's been bipartisan. I don't know that they've.
Let me ask the question for Spence. Since it's bipartisan, and this is where I'm going with this shit, and I'm asking it to Spence, but anyone could and should answer. Spence, if we agree with these things that you've heard so far, and I'm going to say I don't think that you do, because the only way it works is if we're going to have to get a lot of people together, which means that you'd have to drop that left versus right. You'd have to drop that. You understand? Yeah. In order to get enough people to pull off these things we want, we can't do the left versus right. You got to dip into that left and get the people who are willing to do what need be done.
Absolutely,
what do you think?
Bill. I agree with that. But you know, petition means request. So
which is gay.
Wiseman.
How is that? How is that gay?
What the fuck am I asking another motherfucker for anything, especially something that's mine already, which is what it always is. They got my shit.
Them to hear you too.
We need to demand, not request.
Yeah, why would I be requesting a damn thing? It's mine. I am the people. That building, your paycheck, that land that you say is yours, it's all mine. I'm not requesting shit. Do what I ask. That's why I go into government office and say.
We the people have made these processes. It's not like it's something that was imposed on you.
They have forgotten that they work for us. They've forgotten about the people.
No,
absolutely. I agree. Cliff, I agree with
they. It's all us. When you guys sit there and set up this they them mentality, this is all us. Every bit of it is us. We're the government. It's all people who just get in there.
Okay, but they're asleep. They're getting their bread and circus. They work their 40 hours a week. Then they want to be entertained on the weekend. They want that bread and circus. They want to relax. They don't want to be part of any of this. So how do we wake them up?
When we say they, the they is the ones of us that got into power.
If I wake them up, you mean get them to vote. Involved. You do the things that make it easier to vote, first of all.
But voting doesn't do a thing.
Yes, voting splits us. I just said we must come together.
Talking about.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Both sides or all sides of the aisle need to come together, put their bullshit behind them, come together and say, no, we want to know where this money is. We want to know where all the money is going. And as citizens, we have the right to know. We don't want to have the, what do they call that? The fluff game or the, oh, well, we'll get it to you the next administration, when that administration can't be held accountable. But I am okay. Right. I am okay with my First Amendment, and I'm damn sure okay with my Second Amendment right. And if it actually came down to that, because of other things that may happen, which I'm not going to speculate, then my Second Amendment becomes a reality. Go ahead, Santa.
Well, I was just going to ask if in recent history anyone can think of any laws or court actions that have required things out of the executive branch or out of the legislative branch that haven't been followed through on, while speaking of petitions to the government.
You mean like the Epstein?
They have not been followed through on?
Yeah, like any of those.
Yeah, like
so if we're making a petition without power, people in power are making petitions that are not observed.
Yeah.
Well, when Joe, let me ask you a question now.
Like in the Senate hearings, it's almost pointless because people either don't show up when they're ordered or don't answer the questions. Like the Senate hearings are
they don't answer
joke.
anyway. It's the most worthless
that's a
shit
really
now
recent
anyway.
thing, though. That's also because these legislatures aren't using their actual power. They have men at arms who can go out and arrest people.
Absolutely.
They can actually try to hold people's fire. They're just
the legal authority to bring people in. Yep.
Dude, it's
Okay,
like
Joe, let me ask you a question. Joe, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When can you make the determination that your First Amendment right is taken away, and when do you decide that the Second Amendment becomes
necessary?
It becomes
Very good.
necessary.
All right. I hadn't really thought about that because I thought that I'm smart enough. I'm going to figure a way without the violent part. But it would become necessary. The first thing that popped in my head is whenever they're being violence to achieve their goal, Second Amendment immediately comes into play and it becomes fair.
Absolutely. And this is why I asked that question, Joe, because is the Second Amendment the where all end all wherewithal?
Well, some people, and I'll say I'm in there in this too. I hate when people say some people. Yeah, the Second Amendment would be the fail-safe, as he called it. I don't know what word I would have put out there, but yes, it is the overarching, whatever you were trying to say would be the Second Amendment.
Right. I mean, that is the end all.
Well,
when you have to use your Second Amendment.
Okay, I think you just made me think harder on how to get this shit achieved. It looks like we would have to two things: the transparency thing you had great there, and it looks like that we would have to tell every motherfucker to have every gun you can, never support anything that takes away, even looks like it brushes up against someone's guns rights. We'd have to do that as well.
Yes.
Right.
And I mean, giving the niggas on the inner city guns, man. That means you can't be on panels talking about the niggas can smoke weed and so.
I mean, this is already happening.
I want
there's
that.
There's a huge contingent on the left now who are not anti-gun rights anymore with what's been going on in the country.
Dude,
I mean,
and right here, this right here,
look at history.
This is the gist of it in our federal Senate and House. We vote on idiots to name bills after nothing that's in them, i.e. the Patriot Act, the Freedom Act, which replaced the Patriot Act, was bipartisanly. They kept rolling for almost 20 fucking years. The biggest takeaway of your rights that you've ever had. And the Smith-Mundt Act has been unraveled. That happened in the fucking 2013 NDAA.
Obama.
Never get the people that are passing our laws, they don't read the laws that they're passing. You can watch Rand Paul.
They don't have time. You can't read 1,000 pages in a night.
Yeah. Rand Paul has went in front of the Senate and held up things that look like the New York phone book and said, this was dropped off at my office for 3 hours ago. And I'm expected to vote on this intelligently. He's like, how can that possibly happen? And it can't.
Also, it turns out that some of these things the lobbyists wrote, they give it to the congressman or whoever that works for them, I'm going to say, and they don't change a word and they put it out there. That's fucking crazy. As the lobbyists wrote half the laws that we follow. That's crazy.
Most of the laws that we follow now.
Yeah, I would say most as well. And this is the failure of our Congress people. This is how far the quality of our Congress people has fallen. We no longer have like educated people from all walks of life. We have predominantly fucking lawyers.
Yeah,
we're the United Corporations of America.
You would low whoever just said that.
I'm sorry, Cameron. I spoke over. I just thought
it's completely fine.
Yeah, it's fine with the fine.
All we have to do is read our history. Read history of what was happening before we went into a revolution.
I got to shit on Spin again, Dan. If we're gonna
grievances, we were doing all of these things that we are doing now, that we've done in infinitum for 50 years now, and nothing has changed. Nothing has worked.
It's not even funny.
I love it.
We're in 1775 right now. Everybody wants their guns.
Amen.
I keep coming back to in my head, I'm not saying it out loud, is we have to stop that cut a nigga off shit. Oh, you believe in so-and-so. Oh, you this. Oh, you follow that. Oh, you're a trans, gay, whatever the fuck it is, we're going to cut you off. The only way this shit works is if we cut off that mentality, man. Anything we're going to achieve, we're going to have to stop that shit.
Well, you can't... No, never mind. No, never mind.
I think it's about control. That's the problem. I think I'm looking for some control here. I believe I can say that. But I think that the devil himself, the evil, is control. When I see me and my friends trying to control other people, like, I don't care if this nigga wearing purple hair. I don't. I can talk shit about him. I'm going to crack jokes about him. But the overreach is when I want to control. That would go down to what he wears, what he says, what he does. It's control. You don't like it because, it'll probably be something like that. Well, then you put other people in. But it'll probably be things like that you totally are uncomfortable with. But you're going to have to stop saying, getting with anybody who wants to control other people. You can't back them. And then at the same time, I'm thinking, we got to go out here and control the government and take it back. So am I doing the same shit that I'm saying don't do?
Right? If your opinion doesn't have some
very good. I see where you're going.
It's not a very well thought out opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're but it's disregarded because those in power wish to disregard it, then it's not very effective either.
Exactly. If they have the power to disregard it, I'm not going to be able to go back and say, listen, black people, my people, we all going to come together and get this change. Won't happen. I won't be able to go back and say, listen, my Republican brothers and sisters, this is what we're going to, won't happen. The people as a whole will have to show up when this thing occurs. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Asleep and they're divided on purpose, with a purpose, by our government. They are controlled by our government.
Today, if I can give a little anecdotal piece of shit story, I went to a meeting of people, activists, and people who had been getting shitted on by the government, who had like social media shits or whatever, or however they found these people, and they had really good shit. The government had been shitting on them hard. One of them, it's something called
Taco Bell shit.
Flip something left, flip something right. Maybe it's Chicago flips right or something. But it means right as in Republican. And the chick is live. She's on Twitter, I think, and she's live. And we're talking about, everybody's telling that story, and we're talking about, I don't know, whatever, how to fucking solve some problems. And this motherfucker was like, went into a thing about Trump, and I was like, this is my first time here. I don't even know these people, and I'm trying to be nice, but immediately this motherfucker like, what it is, Trump gonna help us. Trump is gonna do this, and if we gonna get this done, Trump, at about the fifth Trump, I was like, nigga, fuck Trump. He a piece of shit. Fuck that nigga. And she immediately jumped off. It was a chick. She jumped off to, oh, y'all people think like this. Y'all think Kamala gonna say blah, 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 blah. I don't know why I told that story.
I don't think that Kamala's going to save the country either.
Yeah, right. Exactly. She assumed that I'm a fan of fucking Kamala. Is that what you? And she lost it. That's what it was. I was no longer able to talk to her. She's now talking to the crowd and shit. She ain't even talking to me no more.
Fucking being a stable human being and not being a fucking insane 80-year-old decrepit dementia rattled moron.
Dude, how did our last election have two dudes that were both fucking like so old that you definitely were like,
because the boomers refuse to let go. They refuse.
I keep hearing the American people say, well, this is the lesser of two evils. Well, I just decided not to even vote for any evil, so I just don't even.
I think, what was it, Madison? One of them said the worst thing I could imagine is a two-party system, and we're here.
That was Washington.
A lot of the founding fathers.
No, it was.
I know.
It was pretty intentional to have an adversarial system. Like one of the main lessons you have
No,
to take from the Roman Republic is that it had
parties.
3 parties.
Just getting down to 2 is where it gets scary. I think that was
two is the only way that you ensure that it doesn't get taken over easily. There will always be opposition to a takeover. The entire lesson from the Roman Republic is that the Senate had 3 factions, and as soon as 2 of them ganged up on one, they turned into an empire. At least with the adversarial nature, you will always have someone to punch back when someone tries to take over.
We're not saying don't have an adversarial nature, maybe not so directly and bipolar. I mean, it could be 15 facets to this adversarial nature.
You guys see the shit that people who have parliamentary systems go through?
I don't, be honest with you.
Did you guys see that Britain is about to lose its 7th prime minister in 10 years?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know. These pets seem to be worthless, man. It's the way the system is set up that keeps it worthless. Whoever comes into the office behind the person, the only way they get there and stay there is that they do the same work as activity.
I'll tell you what, man. The whole reason we're an economic superpower is that we have stability.
I think I'd rather give it up.
I thought was a good quote by any politician was government is not the solution to our problems. Government is the problem. And that's the only thing I liked for that a politician said ever.
Santa, I think you're trying to speak.
Ridiculously simplistic statement.
Go for it, Santa.
And if we were listening to the first and the second stream, there are a lot of shared ideas of what different groups think. And if you were to map these out and then you look at PSYOP, you'll see that a lot of these are a grain of truth and a lot of fiction. And then we can put labels, because as soon as we put labels like libtard or MAGA or whatever, then we dehumanize the person.
And then you give yourself permission to harm and others permission to harm these people now. As soon as you call them libtard, dope dealer, hustler, what those things, same thing, whatever it is. We're children. Like, we don't understand that. Are we this dumb?
Apparently.
What the fuck?
Well, that's our public school system. The public school system. Respect authority. Don't question authority. Sit down. Shut up. Don't speak unless you're called on. Raise your hand. Do this. Do that. Stay in line. It's indoctrination, and we grow up with that confirmation bias that we have to respect authority.
Yes, and then you become a goofball like me for sure.
Who went to fucking public school and had that kind of shit? It's just going to fucking school, dude. Come on. Like, so at some point, this is just like fucking stupid, right?
Where do you think the public school system came from?
Yeah, I know exactly where it came from, but
I think he's saying
went through the public school system in a small town. It's just like idiotic for what you're fucking saying. No one was being like,
where did it come from?
The government.
Where did the public school come from? Answer the question.
The origin of something doesn't determine what it is in perpetuity.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's that's a bit of a off thing. Where we came from
word doesn't determine the colloquial use.
Right.
Why don't people answer questions when they get a direct question?
Because he's trying to tell you that was going to stray us off. That was going to stray us off. The origin of it, where it came from. Go ahead.
It doesn't throw us off. It came from Russia.
He had the right argument, though. In the end, it doesn't mean it. I forgot how he just phrased it. The origin of it doesn't mean it changes colloquially what a school is. Agreed, it could have been started off as a death camp, but it don't mean necessarily that that's what it turned into all these years later.
I mean,
not necessarily.
It started with hunting slaves. Do we want to start making arguments like that?
I love that argument. Still doing that shit. I film them hunt slaves every night.
It's just another rabbit hole to open up when you start talking like that.
I don't know, and that's a fair fucking rabbit hole. Now I'm down with
I
fucking
agree, but
Santa. I think we got to chase this rabbit hole.
With the current subject.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. We rabbit hole.
Yesterday, I was talking to a 10th grader in good standing in the education system, and they didn't know very much about.
That's a weird phrase, Santa.
Well, she was with my niece, thankfully, and I was taking them to a public place. But all criticisms aside,
made it weirder.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just gonna stop there, but
I need proofism, please. Proofism.
Oh.
I was concerned how little that person understood civics, and I asked about some tangential stuff about how things change, their outlook on getting a job, for example, and these things, and it just broke my heart because it's so much different than when I came up.
Yeah.
We had different expectations, and respectfully to her.
Oh, here, check this out.
Waiting for the system to do it.
Break my heart.
Here's a problem that we're gonna come upon is that most people believe that the way to solve their shit is the government prescription.
Well, I believe
that's just how it is, and that begins with you do as they say. Just the police is just doing its job all the way down the line, all the way up until if you want to change the system, vote. All of it.
Some men that were helping me come up taught me to go like this when I was stopped for a police stop in a car. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of what you're about and what you're around, because in that environment, that was the safest thing you could possibly do. But
the long-term solution to what we're talking about.
Well, I was kind of going there.
No. I was going to say the long-term solution. I think you're hitting it on it right now. It's going to be getting the message out. This message that will be the long-term. So I know I put up short-term, but long-term, I think what we started out with. I think social media and protests or something. I think those play a role in the long-term solution. That's how you educate motherfuckers. And
may also advocate though for parents taking responsibility. It might be part of a design to make sure that parents are having to work too much and they don't have the quality time with the kids, and then the screens, and then the this, and then the that.
Right.
At the end of the day, I still think that parents are responsible for helping to prepare their children, perhaps their neighbors' children, of what's really going on. But then I would also add in such a way that it's not like, oh, there's that crazy person at the end of the cul-de-sac.
I would say it's much less intentional. Like I've got to pry the parents away from the kids, and more the idea of the economy we live in demands to suck every bit of productivity out of the worker without actually incentivizing anything for them, without giving them more wages or anything. We have been squeezed dry.
This program to keep that attention, and a lot of the executives and designers of the social apps have said just that. So maybe a combination of both.
Yeah.
That it's not that, there's not some master hand in the background controlling all these things. It's a self-interest of different groups, and the cumulative consequences might aggregate with our children.
Well, I'm a complete believer. If there's any kind of like conspiratorial kind of thinking that I think we can all kind of agree on, is that the idea is that the overt economic interests, the people who have the money, control the money, they're the ones who want you fighting about race and sex and special interest crap.
Then
and like
that is my angle.
So that's why I always look for the money angle first, because the money angle is usually where the real problem is.
I got to work that into my message in every form and fashion.
It's always about money.
100%.
That's where corruption lies.
If we switch this to a class warfare, everything would change quick.
Very good. I got to work on that harder, right? And I got to stop being titillated by the little minutia. I get so interested in it. I have fun talking about it, but it might just be a waste of time.
Think about your class.
Too many people don't want to talk about the class warfare. I'm happy to hear it as a lefty.
I want it. I want it.
Yeah, that changes the entire board game, because now it's a lot of
now
us.
Suddenly left and right can be together, black and white can be together. Yes.
Yeah. Because
The
we're
only
all
color that matters is green.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I gotta work that in. I'm working on a new bed. I gotta work that shit in there somewhere. That's important. You know, I'm an idiot. I'm slow. And, you know, I sold drugs until I was 50 something years old and ran the streets. So, you know, forgive me. It's
Joe,
all of
you're
these
so
concepts.
full of bull butter. You're so full of bull butter. You're probably one of the most intelligent people I know. I mean, period, bar none. That's why you ask
thank
these
you for that,
questions.
but
Get the conversation going, you know, and it's important.
yeah. I just come to this. I'm stupid again. I thank you, but I feel really slow being this old, and it just really hit me. I'm sure I had a thought before that. That I'll never that I had to get black people and white people on the same page. I knew that, of course, as a kid, but recently, I mean, like 7 years ago, I said something stupid. I was arguing with a cop, and I was like, "Stop fucking with my people." And I said, "Who your people?" I say, "My people, nigga, black people." And, you know, that bit and stung, and that's what I needed to, you know, to be like, "You be careful, motherfucker." And you know, ever since then, I've changed. Been trying to get my wording. I do not want to do any divisive wording. Blah blah blah. It looks like, you know, I was doing baby steps. I should have been doing a class thing. I should have been making sure that the class inclusive in everything I fucking say.
That actually, there's a study out there that shows one of the biggest things that you can do to make cops start being nastier to the public is start paying them more. Like if you keep them on the same page as the poor people, they don't get above them. You know, so you don't want them to be poor, but on the very
I could beat that too. I'm gonna make a note of that. Yeah, cops got to get less money. This is going to be totally
also the beat cop is also the bottom of the totem pole in the law enforcement hierarchy. So beat cops shouldn't be making like a super amount of money. You know, they're not detectives, they're not sergeants, they're not commissioners or whatever. Like they're at the bottom.
I don't think any public official should make more than their median local income. Period.
Well, maybe they could have more cosmetologists in California too.
In Northern California, that's one of the best paying jobs you could possibly get.
Ain't bad as Chicago.
But we got to get the word out to them, and that's where the class thing is. I agree with Ben. You mentioned that about pay. A lot of times it comes down to the have and the have-nots, and hopefully we've all seen video where the officer's buying that mom with her kids some food or something like that. Those things really happen. But we need to make sure that the ones who are standing up, you know, we got their back too. I mean, it's got to be about class.
Yes, when it happens, you definitely better grab their back. Yeah. I was going to go into how fucking rare it is because I'm feeling some type of way because I just got motherfuckers shining that light in my face and telling me that you don't have the right to film, and none of the 30, 40 cops helped me when my rights were being violated. I think they also.
Yeah.
I hear you, brother.
That's brilliant, Cheney, because you know what? In the Army, you can't just be a drill sergeant. A lot of people think that, but you can only be a drill sergeant for 2 cycles, and then you have to take 2 cycles off because those people, that shit goes to their fucking head and they go crazy with it.
Great leaders have to be good followers first.
Yeah. And drill sergeants, you know, like those guys practice by yelling at trees. So they get, by the very nature of it, they get this crazy head where they get used to yelling at people and telling them to do shit, and they have to do it. And if you let a guy do that for too long, fucking, they just lose their shit.
It was like the guy who hunted serial killers over there in Russia. He found the crazy serial killer who was at the bus and train stations killing all the women. Shitsky Yetsky or whatever the fuck, I can't think of his name.
I know who you're talking about.
When they talked to the guy who finally found him, he'd been on it for 12 years straight or something. They was like, "Are you crazy? We rotate in the US. We would never. You go crazy doing this shit for all that time in a row."
Yeah.
An interesting movie to watch might be Serpico.
Yes, I should watch it again. It would be helpful.
But
I
yeah,
watched it years ago. Yeah.
this goes well into what Cheney just said, where get them a job where they're still doing public service and they're actually doing it in a friendly manner with the public, like a post person, and get them doing a rotation where they're not in this aggressive situation.
As police officers.
And that's part of the point of auditing too, you know. All
Yeah, well, they
agencies be courteous.
fail so bad when they deal with the public, bro. It must be in the formula, but that's again, it's because they follow what the person in front of them tells them, and they're gonna tell them, you know, you're gonna go to the little town hall, and they're gonna have it where all old people, 80-year-old motherfuckers show up, and those are the only people left who like the police, and they're gonna present their argument to them, and you know they're gonna be like, yeah, them young people need to pull their pants up. At least that's how they do it around here. It's, the way the police deal with the public is tiny and very rigid, and it will never be effective. They will never allow a person. I go up there. I do it all the time. I used to do it all the time. Now it beat me down. I know it's worthless. I just go in there and be like, "Is anyone talked if I could talk to?" You know, no, it's usually Bob. Well, when's Bob gonna be in? You can come back tomorrow. I'll come back tomorrow. Yeah, Bob here. Nah, he's over. It take like 5 times before they'll send you someone else. And that person will have his hand on the doorknob because he got to leave. Huh? What? We don't really do that. What other questions do you have? There is no communication between the public and them.
Yeah, just call. You call, you're just going to get voicemail, and they're never calling you back. Same way
There's
with
not no one of a higher so and so. They're going to ask you what is it concerning. And the person on the end of the line who answers the phone is going to suddenly think she's the boss and she's going to be able to answer your question for you. I wouldn't be calling to ask for a lieutenant if all the dispatch would do. And this dispatch lieutenant and higher, you get short time. They're not going to call you back over shit like, hey, a guy shined a light in my face, man. One of the guys or something. Yeah, it's worthless.
And it's against the law, prior restraint. But who's going to prosecute him?
Yes.
Well,
maybe I should have been
using
using
together.
you as
You've got the
brain for
executive
that.
branch, the judicial branch, and the legislative. They're all in bed together. There's no checks and balances.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Actually, I want to ask Effigy, but all y'all can kick in. Effigy, you know how they do this thing with the right to film with the police. Unless it's been firmly established in your circuit court, I think it's called, which covers a multitude of states and most times, the police can get off and they have qualified immunity unless there's a case that has it established. Well, it's my belief that, like whoever was just talking, prior restraint, whoever just said that shit, that's already in the law. You got all the other case law, the Irizarry, Yahia and Turner drivers and shit. It's already obvious.
They ignore it. Yeah.
Yes. What remedy do I have, Effigy? Because going to court right now, we all know, me and the police know that there's no case law. They can do that shit all day until there's case law. What do I do here? And there is none in Illinois.
What's your specific question again? I mean, just you're talking about just in general dealing with the cops or a specific instance?
No. I guess I'm talking about, I'm giving an instance. Okay, in my head, it really happened where, and they do it all the time,
Hurricane,
3 or 4 times a night, shining the
Hurricane,
light.
thank you very much for the Cash App. And also, Hurricane says, polite, protect the financial interest of police. There's like a smear on my TV. Police protect the financial interest of the country they work they work for. If we
Very
understood the
good.
money system, that's what their job is. Yes,
Very
sir.
good.
Follow the orders of the bosses.
I'm really high because everything y'all are saying tonight just sound like the greatest westerns and shit. And I know it's shit I've heard before, but
well, I mean, this is the kind of stuff I buck against when everyone is always like rah capitalism, right? Like these are the negative sides of a hyper capitalistic system. Yeah, you would expect that your police give much more of a shit about, you know, valuable property, rich people areas. They'll patrol those more in a capitalistic system, sure. But we don't want that. We want more of a socialized police where they more are protecting the public and serving public interest, which is, you know, the things we say that they do.
We agree.
And from what I've seen, the two biggest factors on that, from what I've
they're
seen,
always going to be detectives. We're usually talking about police when we're talking about interacting. You're going to interact with beat cops.
Yes.
They're not always out there solving crimes.
And so what I've
very
understood,
good.
from what I've understood, the two biggest factors are those beat cops need to live in that general area that they're patrolling, and then they need to not be paid. They need to not be paid heavily above what those people in that area.
I can personally say that the police who live around here, I was able to befriend them, and some of them got transferred because they got too friendly with me. But they'd be like, I know Kanisha, she used to live over there. I go out with her mama, and those cops, they don't last long. They move them. And those are the ones that we end up loving.
And they can
the biggest problem in policing, number one to me in my mind is the idea that police have to be a revenue stream. That's destroyed most of policing, I think.
100%.
Very good.
It shifted their entire reason for
there should be no impetus to find law breaking except that it puts people in danger, right? It shouldn't be like, man, I gotta make that money. I better find somebody.
No, it's got to be to save them. If you got them lights behind me over a fucking broken tail light, nigga, you better come up there and be like, hey man, your tail lights out. Be careful, someone get hurt. Listen, we got a guy, a mechanic in the area. He does the shit for the city. You go get it in there. He'll give it to you for just the price of a bulb. Or if you help a nigga, if you want to help him, this is what the police be doing. Certainly not. Aha! You didn't turn on your turn signal. You owe me money. No, fuck out of here. That's crazy.
Well, and the seizure of assets,
so they can do a search on their vehicle and extend the stop for that reason.
Yes.
So and, you know, when you've got prisons that are private prisons, and they're the more bodies they have in those prisons, the more money they make. Same way with the county jail, a lot of county jails in a lot of states.
Yeah.
They want to look for that.
The same way they get federal funding. The state prisons get federal grants for all that.
Yes.
Yeah. And the more bodies they have, the more money they get.
They built the new prison in Illinois every year for like 15 years or something. I had to stop keeping count. Like, geez.
And then you rent out their labor to companies to make even more money.
Yeah.
It's infinite money.
And they like
as
that
long
money
as people agree to it. It is
get their
infinite.
raises.
Well, it's not infinite. We're just about at that breaking point. If you look up, there's we have the $39 trillion debt, but then there's a real problem with unfunded liabilities. So they have this whole other debt that is coming due that we don't have the money for. And there's no way to manipulate the budget to make that money for it. So they know where the shortfalls are going to happen on that. And that's another $200 trillion. So I don't even know what to say with that. And we're to the point already where we're paying $1 trillion a year just in interest alone on what's out there.
Right. The shit that we're taking in.
We gotta just forget the economy at this point, guys. It's too much.
Check my man out. You gotta forget the economy. It is a high price, apparently. Someone says Joe Cool something. Oh, I'm supposed to.
At some point, we're just defunct as fuck.
Well, I would bring your attention. I don't think asset seizure was the original Constitution or anything else. Anything where they're projecting or alleging that it was part of a crime. Even if you're later proven innocent of that crime, you will have trouble getting your assets back.
Yeah,
agreed.
Relation to the Fourth Amendment.
They don't even have to charge you with the crime is the fucked up part. Then you've got to go through being the initiating force in order to try and get your assets back, which they certainly aren't in a hurry to go through.
They, in a small way, but this is the same thing. They did that. They towed my car. I don't even remember what I did, but I got off of it in court or whatever the fuck it was. But they told my car I had to pay the police to get it back. That was hundreds of dollars. I thought that's what it cost to get my car back. And they just sent me to the pound, which wanted another $500 some or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't even suffer. I don't know if I won in court or they dropped it. I don't remember what the fuck happened in court, but it was a nothing traffic shit. And yeah, they took my money and my property and shit and didn't make me whole.
Yeah. And you know there's kickbacks from them getting contracts to tow your vehicles.
Of course, very good.
There's
That's
also
part of the
kickback
transparency.
to them taking your money, because then if it doesn't get claimed in a certain amount of time, it goes back into their fund. And if it gets taken and they're able to just seize it and keep it, percentage of it goes to the Fed and the rest goes to the fucking whatever agency did the seizing. That's another road pirate shit.
That's another thing, because the more successful your police department is, you say you pull that shit off one year, you're super successful. The next year, your budget.
You have somebody named Mill 99999. That sounds so fucking German.
Yeah, they're in the
9999999. Achtung.
I've lost my train. Somebody can go.
That person wants you to unblock them.
So is Spen
They
still
have a
here?
love letter for you. What's that?
I was asking if Spen's still here, or anybody that can kick me off the panel because I'm outside.
I can kick you off.
Yeah,
Ben's gone.
Yeah, I want to call it a night. It was wonderful talking with you, Joe, and the rest of you on the panel as well.
Right.
It was good talking to you also. It was good to meet you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Be easy, Pepper. Thanks for the link you sent me. EB Eric Brant. I guess I should say something about Eric Brant was on the internet today, which I don't know if you guys know. He's the guy who threatened the judge and got 12 fucking years, which you don't get for it. Certainly no one gets for a threat. Not even you threaten the president, you don't get 12 years. But
judges have gotten real out of line lately. Real out of line. And I don't know if they don't realize that we're in the age of the internet, but
they realize it, which is why there are no cameras, no recording in court. A lady today at the event I went to was talking about, she tried to write shit down and the judge wouldn't let her. They understand the age of the internet well, because they don't put themselves in it at all. And if you talk about them, they come after your channel. They put some type of order out before they let you out. I don't give a fuck if you got on the sidewalk, you got a trespass or something. Part of the order is going to be you can't post on the internet for 6 months. Any of that social media shit,
one of the things I don't think gets talked about near enough in the political circles is the degradation of the judicial branch.
Okay, in what fashion? I agree it's degraded, but in what fashion do you think it is?
I think that there's a movement to put like gift bans and things like that, because there's loopholes that these judges use. A lot of them are very wealthy and powerful. They serve only a certain class of people. They're very political in their leanings. All that's nonsense. When you're a judge, none of that. You are supposed to absolutely be by the law. Like right. You're not none of those other things, like how much money, what their politics are. None of that's supposed to matter.
I'll take it even further. A judge shouldn't even insert himself at all.
Right.
It should be what makes sure both parties present the shit equally and hand it over to the jury. The judge should not be a god. I'm running shit as my courtroom. You too seem like your best role would be a public servant. Well, I'm just trying to shut the fuck up and make sure you guys can present your shit and keep it legal, as you just said, and give it over to the jury.
I mean, you guys know what I'm going to say on this one. The last two Republican presidents have both tried to appoint their personal lawyers to one a Supreme Court position, the other a high-ranking federal judge. Like, there to me, both sides kind of, but yeah, one side way more on this one. One side is putting dipshits on the court and authoritarians at a higher rate.
Not just on the court, you could say the cabinet and every other federal position too.
I'm sure there's a bunch of lefty shitty judges too, but the right puts in like ridiculously shitty, inept, moronic, and cruel pieces of authoritarian shit.
I gotta agree with you. The only reason I know is because I had to go through that Trump shit arguing with motherfuckers, so I had to read endless amounts of fucking lawsuits. It was like 49 to start with, just on one thing along with Trump. Oh, the voting shit. It would never end. He kept sending new lawsuits in. It was crazy. But half these judges, it turned out, were fucking appointed by him. I'm like, Jesus, you niggas, but I knew he was.
That's what I'm saying. If their politics is deciding their legalness, then that's just a bad judge. They need to be the fuck out. Like, there needs to be the movement that's talking about banning gifting to judges is also trying to lower the bar for recusing judges. Like,
very good.
If you are doing some shit because of your politics, then either side, then you need to be recused. That's not what your job is. You are supposed to be there to interpret the law and to make sure it's followed.
Here's our power. Jury nullification. Since we're on this, how do we change it? Jury nullification.
Yeah.
If the jury didn't like a thing, they were designed to say, nah, that's too harsh, or we don't like that, and this is what we're gonna do.
That's been happening a lot. Jury nullification's been happening a lot in cases involving ICE.
I was unaware. That same guy I was just telling you about, Eric Brandt, he made case law with jury nullification. Him and his friends were passing out flyers. They both got arrested, and he ended up making case law. They did not want the jury knowing about that shit.
I've seen the left talk about jury nullification. I've never seen the right talk about it. I don't know that.
Yes, they're busy appointing judges.
Yeah, I've never.
It is one of the few like direct powers the people have in the judicial sphere.
Very good.
100%.
Very good. I got to work that in somewhere too into that message.
It is really important. It's really the only way for people to be like, no, fuck what your laws say. They're immoral. We're just gonna say no. Everybody likes to have a jury trial, and we'll just get you off. Like when things are really getting bad as far as tyranny.
Yeah. Just refuse to convict the guy that shot the local sheriff that was super crooked or whatever.
Right. And we'd have to take it further. We had to get a hand. You'd have to start it with something like that so they'd see it's possible, and then you'd have to fashion that shit. To everything. No, nigga, I'm not giving them up like 27 years because he got caught with 2 pounds of weed in Texas. Blow me. No, it's not even a thing. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
I feel you.
Dude,
people
in
Louisiana are still getting a third strike 40-year sentence, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Just for having a joint
I lost 8 years of my life for less than half a pound of weed because the classification go. Yeah.
I used to sell, I don't know, 8 of those a day. Half pounds was like nothing.
It was actually a quarter pound because it's 2 ounces to a half pound to 1 pound, 1 pound to 10 pounds.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
So everything under half a pound. So
That's
for
funny.
under half a pound, well, I got paid every 2 weeks. And I smoked 4 ounces of weed, so I went and bought 4 ounces of weed, and they acted like I was Pablo Escobar when I got
know.
paid. I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, you're
crazy.
a dealer. I'm like, I ain't dealing this. I'm smoking
and it's probably crazy, right? Because nowadays shit's so good, you never even need that much.
Oh, dude. And now I have a license because I'm medical and shit. I can carry 10 pounds on my person, and they're like, nice. Like,
that's a gaslight, man, that you were such an evil fuck for having it before. Now you're a tax-paying citizen. That's an evil
it shows how
gaslight.
bullshit
Someone
it
should
is.
go to jail for that shit.
Well, it's insane that we have states that are, people walking around smoking it recreationally. It's not a thing at all. There are businesses that are, quite frankly, mailing to states that it's not legal. It's happening all over the place, but people are still rotting in jail. People are still getting convicted, put in jail. There is no equal established right in that sense to me. That's why I think it's bullshit and it needs to be undone.
I've never had another charge in my life except for, I got a DUI when I was 21. But that's like the most interactions I've had with any police outside of fucking just the weed charge. And fucking 8 years of my fucking life I lost over that. But I tell you what, South Dakota was crazy back then. I was in with a guy who pissed hot for meth. And in South Dakota, it's one of 2 states that has possession by ingestion laws. So just having it in your system, you're possessing it. And they gave this dude 15 years for having meth in his pee. And I don't do meth, and I'm not like standing up for meth. I'm like, I think that shit's, the devil. But fucking the dude lost 15 years of his life for that being in his pee.
Yeah,
are you
crazy
serious right now? Like, that is like one of the most biggest. That's like what is this, fucking Thailand or something?
Over here,
no,
I remember
Thailand or somewhere around there, you'd get a bullet in your head.
The way the gangs did it,
pretty extreme for a very small thing.
The way the gangs do it over here, I remember every Friday, not everybody, some of the gang motherfuckers, you go to a cell and you get orders for the drugs, and they come in on Friday and you divvy them up. If you'd have been taking niggas piss, half the deck would have been popped in real life, man. That's 15 years for everybody, man. Everybody was getting high in there.
Ben, someone asked, did he end up off meth?
I have kind of a thing.
Everybody ends up off it one way or the other.
When you're in, he was off it for a long time anyways. But meth heads in prison are usually pretty cool people. But once you're out of prison, you should probably not talk to them. Because as soon as they get back on the meth, which most of them do, it's just a fact of life. I got back on weed. That's for goddamn sure. Fucking, But I told them too. They forced me to go through treatment, and I was like, "This is dumb. I'm gonna smoke a fucking joint out in your parking lot the day I fucking flat my number."
Like, man, meth addiction is rough. It's one of the few drugs that will like literally leave a mark on your entire body for the rest of your life. It'll eat away at you in a way that never comes back.
It will. And it ain't out that long. I remember rock cocaine selling that shit I felt like a devil selling that shit when I saw what it did to people coming with the pregnant chick coming with their baby in the rain, spending their last of their rent money to get that rock. I couldn't sell that shit.
Speed's the devil, man.
That's what I'm saying. That wrecks lives. Like weed, I have grand mal seizures. Weed, before I was using cannabis, fucking they had me on Seroquel, Percocet, or Seroquel, Tramadol, and fucking Klonopin.
They used to mix that shit with the dope.
Dude, I went up to 265 pounds, and I would like drool, and I couldn't do anything, and it was horrible. And and I was still having like one seizure a week. And with cannabis, I'm freaking 155 pounds, and I run an entire farm in a lab. And I don't drool on myself, which my wife likes. And I also
makes it easy on the furniture.
Yeah, I can tie my shoes. It's nice.
Yes, less seizures. That's what I want to hear that
I
part
don't have
too.
any. Unless I go without cannabis for like 3 days.
That's crazy. And I was about to say, and they would jail you for it, but they did jail you for it.
Yeah. And then once I started having seizures, it was stupid. Then they made me walk around with this because my disease is that I don't process copper correctly, so it builds up on my brain, and then my brain like short circuits, and fucking I'll have a grand mal seizure, and then I fucking go into a coma for a while, and then it all settles down. And so I had to walk around with a bucket full of, and I had to pee in it all day. And that way they could check my copper count all day to see when it spikes and shit.
Right. Wow. Right.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah. That's
Copper.
crazy.
Oh, that's interesting. I've never even heard that one.
No,
Dude.
that's new to me. I watched House and I never heard that one.
It's called Wilson's disease. The only way you can actually be diagnosed with it is through a eye surgeon. And the way that they can tell is around your pupil, because I have green eyes, but I get a brown star and it's in the shape of a star. And that's actually copper pushing through my eye.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My brother had a brain tumor. And I remember after it was diagnosed, I went to the doctor with him. And the chick looked at his eye for something, and she was like, "Oh, I could have told you immediately." Looked in his eye and saw that something bad had happened in his head.
Yep. He had worms in his eye.
He had a glioblastoma brain cancer.
I had alpacas with worms in their eye once, and actually that got put in the Alpaca Digest. Because worldwide there's not that many alpacas, period, and this was a new thing and they didn't know, and the disease and the eye thing and the treatment were both put in the Alpaca Digest off my alpacas. That was pretty cool.
I missed some of it because I was blown away that the alpaca shit just threw me. What did happen with the alpacas? They got you in the Alpaca Digest.
They got these little weird eye worms that you could only see. He shined a black light on their eyes, and you could see them wiggling around on their eyes.
That's crazy.
We used, I don't remember the name of the antibiotic, but this is he took some out and tested them, and alpacas, there's not many of them worldwide. And so the information on them is extremely limited. Most vets don't know anything about them, really.
So that's the reason they wanted to get the word out. So I'm assuming it worked.
Yeah, it worked. So they printed it in this magazine, like, hey, this was this eye parasite, and this is what cured it. Cleaned it up. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah, that is cool. And it's a great story. Anything with alpaca. I swirled when you said that. I was going, oh, yeah, alpaca. What the fuck?
Tomorrow or Monday, I got a fucking shear.
I was thinking llama, alpaca. This is the craziest conversation I'm hearing today.
Dude, I never would have gotten them. And the only way I got them is when I got out of prison. My mom got.
Why you saying llama reminded me
of what
Winnie
picture
used to
of
say
an
back
alpaca.
in the day.
Here are some images of alpaca from the web.
Dude, I got the cutest little baby pictures. I'll show you the cutest video. But I got out of prison and I was doing fine and I had my own house and shit. Well, my mom got divorced and she was raising my nephew. And the thing that she got in the divorce was the house. Well, there was a $1,500 a month payment on her farm.
Right.
And so it was also in the divorce that if she couldn't make the payment, that it defaulted back to her ex-husband.
No, that's so evil. That's
yeah, dude.
I guess
up, right? So basically she was going to end up with nothing in this fucking divorce. It was going to be horrible. And so I just moved in with my fucking mom. I gave up my house and everything and just moved in with my mom and paid her bills and had her babysit my kids. So it ended up being mutually beneficial in that way.
I get that. I moved back here to take care of my mom. Well, to take care of my brother, but in the process, my mom had a fucking stroke. Which is sucky. So I get that shit. And it's second nature. There are no questions asked. You do what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's mom. Ma can't lose her house. And
so right.
I get off her farm, and then we moved out to California here because I wasn't going to go back to prison for weed, but I was definitely going to keep smoking weed. And,
those are evil fucks, man. We cannot. Okay, I'm not content. I don't think we've arrived at anything, but we cannot
There you go, Joe.
not do a thing, and we cannot go through the fucking system solutions because
Joe, look at your screen. Hold on, I'll replay it. She walks up and she just boops my camera. Watch us.
I was gonna ask you, was that you?
That's me. That's me and my bowl. That's
this little
What the fuck? You right, that is the cutest fucking little alpaca.
Well, time to cool down for the year, little girl.
I'm still looking at the replay on my other phone, man. Even the cow is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, dude, that's my bull I'm brushing because he got jealous because the one laying down was getting ready to give birth, and she really liked to have her hips massaged. Like right before they give birth, the thing that you can tell is the sign that they're getting it right at that end stage is there's a spot in their hip that has this like just little divot, and that between their tailbone and their hip, and that will stretch out and become very long. And they really like that because, that pulled so hard. They like that rubbed and massaged. And he got all jealous and came over. So I had to give him
Ben, I've been in the city so fucking long that, I was amazed just to see a fucking cow and shit. I was hopping out the car, videotaping cows and shit. It's crazy to me that this shit could be so different.
I'm scared of my animals.
Yeah, I probably would be less scared because now I run into a lot of animals. But yeah, I'd still be afraid, I'm sure. And now when I left Colorado, we had 40 chickens and the neighbors got goats and pigs. You had to get used to a lot of shit. There were horses at my window every fucking morning. Chasing, I don't even know what they were, chasing goats off the property, pigs off the property. So I got used to animals after a while. Stopping the antelope. Check this out. Before I started traveling, a friend of mine was talking about a property that they go to that eventually, I've been to. It's great, blah, blah, blah. Where if in the right time, early in the morning, if you look on that hill, a sole antelope will be up there if you catch it early enough. And I remember hearing that story. I was like, I gotta see that fucking antelope. Now I've seen so many fucking antelope, I've had to stop the car so they cross the road now, right? God is good.
Dude, one time I'm in Reno and my buddy wants to go out to the Mustang Ranch and get a hooker. And so, whatever, dude. And so we go out there, and it turns out that they have a nice breakfast restaurant inside the Mustang Ranch. Yeah. So I go in there and have breakfast with him. And at breakfast is where you pick the hooker. Like they like kind of walk around like almost like at a strip club and like try to entice you and then or whatever.
Hookers and waffles.
Yeah, exactly. And exactly what makes your appetite stimulated. And fucking so he picks his hooker and I go back out and I'm literally thinking this is going to be like a 15-minute thing. So I'm like, I'm going to go back out to the car, and supposedly there's actually wild Mustangs running around on this property. And so I'm like, because that's why it's the Mustang Ranch. And I'm like, well, I want to do this shit. That's pretty cool. And so I go out there and sit down in the car, and I just have a fucking dab and smoke a cigarette. And I'm sitting there, and then I fall asleep. And the Nevada desert, it goes from like 60 degrees to 110 degrees in like 2 minutes flat. And fucking, I'm in there, and this motherfucker is in there for like an hour and a half. Like, I did not even know. Like, she gives him a handy while she's making him take a shower, and then fucking like this whole sensual thing. And he's in there for like an hour and a half. It cost him a good chunk of money, but it was cool, but I'm sitting
I'd
in
have
this
did
car.
your shit too. I'd have went and sat in the car just so I could say I win. Even if I wouldn't pick a hooker, and I probably wouldn't do that part, but I'd have had to go if my friend. If
Well,
the
we
opportunity
drove there
arose.
in that car together, so that's the only way he was getting there, and it was my Mustang. You ain't driving my Mustang.
The Mustang at the Mustang Ranch. It was meant to be.
Yeah. That was the only Mustang I saw. But I woke up and it's like 120 degrees, and I'm like damn near dead. I'm like, and I just open the door and I just roll out of the car. Like fucking
It's the same way out there in Colorado. I went to go to a court and observe something, and I had on a t-shirt at the crib. Where was I? Near Trinidad. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know where the fuck I was at. A half an hour away from Pueblo, or a little more. But I went wherever the fuck I went. It was a nice little long fucking ride, and I had to go through some fucking mountains, and it was snowing so hard at the top of these mountains. And all I had put on was some long sleeves. It wasn't even a thick sweatshirt. That I thought it was a whiteout conditions. Everybody was sliding. I thought I was gonna have to pull over and bitch out. It was really horrible. And thank God, just when I was like, I can't do this, I can't see, this is too risky, it started to clear up. But on the other side of that mountain, man, it was fucking freezing. And my big ass, I couldn't go to the Goodwill and find some clothes or something just for the day because my arm's too long, man. But yeah, that desert, man, or let the sun go down. My girl learned that whenever we go somewhere to visit friends, if it's going to become dark, you're not going to be in them little shorts and shit. You're not going to survive. We had to keep pants, long pants, and a hoodie in the car for her all the time because when the sun go down, you might get a 30, 40 degree change.
Well, you don't get them. You don't get that shift in the more moist places with the higher humidity. It's in them dry areas, those deserty areas that shift is just extreme. Where it's, at night that's nice because you can sleep because it's all of a sudden very cool. Where in the humid areas, like fuck, it drops off the temp in the middle of the night. The temperature only dropped like 5 degrees. You're like still just laying in a pool of your own sweat, just like
I was in Arizona. I was in Phoenix, I think, and I was over at Buddy's crib, and I wanted to go out and smoke. So I had said that, I'm gonna nod off, and I'm gonna get up at like 3 in the morning when it's cool and go out and smoke. It was so hot and humid. It was 104 degrees. I know that because I asked him the next day. I was like, "What the fuck? How you living, yo?" Now it's like 117. We got, they got these things that they put over all the cars and shit where you park at your apartments. It's horrible.
Dude, Arizona is the only state that you can actually tint your windshield in.
I understand why. Oh, and they have that same thing. I went up to a mountain somewhere that has a lake, and I was wishing I wasn't wearing shorts. It was so cool. And then I go back down to his crib, and it's fucking 104 at night. It's weird.
Yeah, fuck that. You've got to have that break at night. Like, dude, I lived over in Redding, and we went 73 days of over 110 degrees every day.
No.
And it wasn't dipping below 100 at night, so it was staying over 100 at night. Yeah, and I had no air conditioning or nothing. Like, I live off grid and shit. Like, we were just going down and laying in the river during the day. And fucking, yeah, and I moved the next year. I was like, no.
Not gonna do that shit again. Here, we had 2 or 3 weeks in a row of 100-degree weather. And so many people died. They had the morgues overflow, and they had to get refrigerated trucks from different businesses. That's how, just for 2 or 3 weeks of triple digit heat. So that shit you're talking about.
That heat spell we just had is part of why I don't have a voice, because I've been sleeping with the fan right on my face because it's so hot. And at night I have no power at all, but we have these I've got fans that run off these same batteries as my flashlight.
Right.
And fucking, so I just plug those in overnight, or I just plug the battery in those overnight.
And there's no breeze. or is it?
No breeze here because I'm
no
in a
breeze.
Yeah, I'm in a valley, so there's no breeze, so it's just these fans. Well, if you blow it right on your face, it dries your whole sinuses, and I get a little sick every year. Well, then I fucking had it out with Brick, and I fucking was screaming at him, and that took my voice out the rest of the way.
Yeah. Speaking of Brick, and I don't guess I'm caping for him since he's not here. That dude advances faster than most people. Mentally, yeah. He actually makes the changes.
Yeah.
He's not going to admit it. He's going to swear he's right, but he's going to refine that argument next time he sees you. And more than most people are willing to do or able to do is so impressive to me.
Well, he sucks it up, and does. He makes the adjustments, and he's got an inquisitive mind. And that's all
he does. A studious mind, even. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't ask
he's gonna be all right. Yeah. Well, actually, I would ask him to control those fucking emotions, man. That anxiety gets to him, and he gets to talking over motherfuckers, and he gets so emotional so fast. He gets offended so easily.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think I'm gonna call it a night, man.
That seems to be winding down. Yeah.
It was great, man. And tell Spin I said thanks for the invite too. All right, good talking to you. FG, it's always a pleasure fucking with you, man.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see you around, Effigy. I meant to say that before you left the other night. It's without the other side. I mean, I'll fight with the righties, you know that, but it's not the same if you don't have just straight up the other side and shit to make the different points and whatnot. So yeah, thanks. I
always happy to be the token.
right. Yeah, because Bones is too much. Like he sets way too many people off. He's not the token.
No, Bones wouldn't last if you guys have the kickoff button.
No. Well, I don't kick people off. It's not, and I actually refuse to let Spin.
Well, he definitely wouldn't last if Spin had the kickoff button.
Yeah. I don't think that one, with you, I'll win that fight, but I don't think I could win that fight with Bones because I've had it. I'm like, dude, we've had that fight before. I'm like, dude, it's not a fucking debate panel if we don't fucking have somebody from the other side, or I'm the only person from the other side. I'm like, then it's a DeBears panel. I'm like, I don't want to be in the old Saturday Night Live skit. Who's gonna win the Super Bowl? The Bears. No, this is a debate. It needs to be fucking dissenting opinions. That's how this works, dude.
Ben, watch that video I put in chat, though. I'm just saying. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Wiseman. Wiseman says, thanks, Benjamin and everyone. And the same, like they and I understand what you're saying, Effigy, and that's part of why I've worked hard to make sure that the people on the other side, like Cameron, is mostly left. And they tried to do a 3-on-1 on him the other night, and I put myself up there. I'm like, the fuck you say? This ain't happening.
He stood up. He stood up mad hard, and I didn't really get to say thank you, but thank you, like actually.
That's no problem. That's this isn't, it don't work like that. I told him, I was like, I'm not even necessarily co-signing what he's saying, but do it 1-on-1, not 3-on-1. That's horse shit. So it keeps it balanced with the both of us, so definitely know that you get to put your opinion out, and you're not going to get kicked out because I'm not going to fucking, it's not going to happen because I also have the buttons.
Does that mean I can anger Spin as much as I want?
Yes. Oh, definitely. Have at it. Have at
it. Bait him with your opinion.
We're here to have the debate. We're here to do it. And if you two are provoking each other, like we try to keep it over here more civil and less blood sporty. And obviously, as you've seen, it doesn't always work out, but we try to. But if he's picking at you, definitely pick back. Fucking, have at it, bro. Like, and the same with me. You know, I've never booted anybody for fucking talking shit back at me. That's the whole damn point to the opposition panel. Like, and I'm old school, man. Like, I was a wrestler. When you're a wrestler, you shook hands before the match because you were cool. The bell rings, you have at each other as hard as you can for the match. And then after the match, you shake hands again and you go hang out. You get you have a couple beers and you fucking chase girls. Like, you don't hate each other, you're just doing the match. Like, it's fine to have a difference of opinion and hash that out. That don't mean you got to hate each other after, like, oh, I hate it. Like, you know, we talked about that. That's part of why he's like friends with Omar now. Like, you can disagree with the dude without hating him. Like, he's a decent dude. What are you talking about? Like, I don't co-sign everything he says, but he doesn't have to be your nemesis. Like, so all that's anyways to say thank you for coming up and being the opposition and the token lefty.
My pleasure. Have a good night.
And thank you, Cameron. And as always, and I just about exited the fucking stage without ending the stream. Holy shit. Love you guys.
Spin City. Spin City on the screen, got the room on 10. Breaking news, panel smoke, then he does it again. The bass in the morning, debauchery at night. He steps in loud and he don't back right. Clip it, post it, watch the chat explode. One more take, then he takes the road. He talks that talk with a grin and a stare. If the other side's talking, he already there. Hold up, here he comes. Hands in the air, let the verdict come. No more hush, no more shade. Spin City live and the whole place sways. Spin City, Spin City. He don't play it safe. Spin City, bringing fire to the face. MAGA on the mic, and he says what he means. Spin City, shaking up the scene. Panels in a circle, everybody wants a turn. He leans in hard, let the hot takes burn. Protest on the ticker, riot in the thread. He talks over the chaos with a raised up head. Yell a little louder, make the point land clean.